So I find myself in this position quite often to where I've started a few things in the past. And this was like, I currently have a job. I'm trying to do this on the side to generate enough income so I can quit my job. And after watching quite a few videos, and I wasn't searching for an answer, but I kind of came to the conclusion after watching a few of these Pokemon YouTubers, I came to the conclusion that I don't think that this Pokemon Japanese booster box selling card flipping business is going to be my out to what I'm currently doing. And I think I'm okay with that because it's fun. I enjoy it. I love coming out to this office that I've created out in my hot craft room because I don't have AC out here. I have this AC unit, but it doesn't hardly do the right job. I come out here, I pack up orders, I talk to people online, I make content, that kind of thing. I really enjoy this whole process, and I think I'm just fine with just letting it ride. Obviously, I'm not going to be a slouch when it comes to doing stuff. I feel like I'm naturally motivated in doing a lot of things, but I don't think it's going to be my out as of right now. So I don't really know what to expect in pretty much anybody that starts a business, unless they've maybe had some experience in the past where they've had a successful business. Maybe it's in the same industry that they're currently trying to work in, to where they know they can make it work. For me, I've always been kind of unsure if I can make things work or not. But I am kind of the person that likes to be, that's motivated, that can put ideas to work and just make things happen in a sense of like moving forward to the right direction. Maybe I'm not going to be moving as slow or as fast as most people, but I have a good understanding of what it takes to do what I'm trying to do. And I've been following a lot of like Brian from Pokey&E. A big influence on some things that I've done has been Pokepastor TCG, his YouTube channel. I just started watching retrospects, and I wanted to kind of touch on some topics of a recent video he just put out. I've been watching Rudy from Alpha Investments and Danny Phantom. Just all of those people in general kind of helped me come to the conclusion of what I just explained. And I enjoy consuming those people's content because, one, they've been doing it a hell of a lot longer than I have. They have more experience than I would ever have. I would think I would ever have. Obviously, it's kind of like I like to think of like, hey, I'm 20 now, not my actual age. I'm 36. And I'm talking to this 20-year-old. They're never going to catch up to me because maybe in like a knowledge sense and stuff like that. But in terms of age, I don't think they're never gonna catch up to me in age. And I kind of reference that to the knowledge base that those people I just referenced. I don't feel like I'm ever gonna catch up to their knowledge base in the Pokemon or TCG hobby. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with doing my own thing and enjoying what I'm doing, that kind of stuff. So just recently I had a bunch of cards listed on TCG Player. And I feel like I was so antsy to start and get going that my systems that I put in place to kind of flip cards, yes, they worked, but they weren't scalable. So like you can see behind me here, my card shelf, I have a sorting tray with all the cards there. And they're completely disorganized. I'm not a very organized person at this point. So I've taken my TCG Player account for the cards that I have, like the bulk cards, some lower end singles, some higher end singles, and I've just removed all those from my inventory. And so I'm gonna do things right. So I think, what's his name? Z&G Games, or I can't think of the YouTube channel. But he's a multi-million-dollar card business. He goes through bulk, he buys collections, he has distributorship. All those things kind of work out in his favor. And some of the videos that I watched, his systems are in place. They're great. They allow him to scale, that kind of thing. So I'm taking some of the things into account with what I'm doing moving forward. So I have a lot of bulk that I'm trying to work through. I bought a collection that the person I bought it from had a bunch of Japanese bulk, and I was kind of deterred from listing that. But I think if I'm in the position now of what I just explained, I'm just going to let it ride. I'm going to work as hard as I can, do my best in the hobby itself. I might as well hold on to those cards and not just sell them as a bulk. I'm not really leveraged, so I know people that if if you're if you have a bunch of cards and you're in debt and you need to sell them, I think trying to liquidate them. But I'm not really in a position to where I'm leveraged. I don't have any debt around my business. I don't have a card shop. I don't have that kind of stuff. And so a lot of that stuff I just removed. So I'm going to kind of work through some of the things that I currently established and revamp those to where I can actually grow and scale and be more productive with finding cards. Like sometimes I'll have an order on TCG Player and I'll go to try to find the card in my box and I'm like, crap, I don't see it. Where could it be? And so I'm looking through binders, I'm looking through ETB boxes, and that's just not really a good option to scale a business. Or I say scale, my operation is going to be a lot smaller than most people's, just because I'm in my office. I'm just starting out. I started in February of this year. Just started making content and stuff like that. So definitely new in the space. And like I said before, with my knowledge base, I haven't really done anything in terms of Pokemon or retail business. So a lot of those things I'm learning online by reading books, learning online from other YouTubers, people like that, to where I can just kind of implement things that work well with my business and kind of grow and scale that way. So I had a conversation with someone on one of my videos, and if you watch this, you know who you are. He basically called me a disorganized hoarder. And I don't really get offended by a lot of people, and I wasn't offended by him. I think sometimes when people say something to you, maybe they're trying to take a jab at you, and that's fine. Maybe, I don't know, your situation pretty much hurt people, so I'm not really too worried about that. But the way he put it made me think of, what am I doing currently to where I can improve and grow? And I think criticism is, if you take it in the right mindset, it can help you just as much as your failures. And so this person called me a quote unquote disorganized hoarder, and he doesn't really know what goes on in my day to day. He just sees what's on my YouTube videos, and I really haven't explained much on my YouTube videos to begin with, so he has no idea. But I kind of saw it as like, maybe I am a little bit of a disorganized hoarder. And I'm like, all right, well, then there's the decision that I removed all the things from my TCG Player. I'm trying to improve my systems, that kind of thing. And so I wanted to touch on, hold on a second, get a drink. I wanted to touch on Retrospects, his video that I think it was just within the last couple of days, but he was talking about people that have a large quantity of Pokemon product, whether you've been collecting for years or you just got back in 2020 because of the COVID thing, or if you just got it now like me. And like I said, I've been interested in Pokemon. I've liked Pokemon all my life, just never really kind of dove as far as I have currently. He's saying that if your current product that you have, whether it be sealed product or singles, if that is the kind of money, and I've seen a lot of this, I'll explain here in a little bit, but if you have that much money invested to where maybe you're not leveraged to where you can just sit on it, but you're kind of panic selling because of everything that's happening right now. And I don't think, based on from what I've seen in the past, I don't really think that right now is different than any time previously in the history of Pokemon. It's going to be cyclical. There's a lot of industries that are cyclical. And so I'm looking at keeping that in mind. But if you have that kind of inventory of like cards that you can sell, and it's like life-changing money, and you're like reconsidering whether you want to be in the Pokemon hobby long term, he says you should sell it. And I totally agree with that. I think that if you have anything over like $30,000 or $40,000 worth of a collection, I think you should get rid of it. Because $30,000 or $40,000, we just did our roof. We paid $25,000 for our roof. And so we have a HELOC for that. We're paying payments on it. That right there would be life-changing money, because that's additional money that's going into our roof, a payment that's every month, and we could put that into savings. We could put that into stocks. I could put that into my business, stuff like that. So like if you have a collection that you're selling, I mean, if you have a collection that's occurred this large amount of value, and you really are considering whether or not want to stay in this hobby long term, you should just sell it. You can sell it to me. I don't have $20,000 or $30,000 capital to buy it from you, but you can sell me a portion of it. I'd love to buy it. Also, I'm part of a Facebook marketplace group in my local area, in the Utah, greater Salt Lake area. And I think it's crazy to me the amount of people that have purchased so much product to where they got in it recently and they didn't really know what was going to do. They were hyped up because things just kept going up and up and up. And now they're trying to sell it. Like there's people like, I don't know, probably 20 people a day that are listing their collections or listing what they bought in the last year or two on this marketplace group, and they're getting no response. And I don't see what's going on in the background. Maybe someone reached out to them on Messenger and they didn't comment on their Facebook post, but it's just wild to me how much product people have to where they're trying to liquidate. And I don't know their situation. They could be trying to liquidate for the 30th or something like that. But based on what I've perceived from that from Facebook, is that people were assuming that the product was going to keep going up and up and up. And then these most recent sets, Perfect Order, Chaos Rising, and Pitch Black, are just basically MSRP. So people are like panic selling. And I think that's wild to me that maybe you're in a situation that I was, where I liked Pokemon and all this hype around Pokemon kind of brought me back into it. And I do give myself credit. I feel like I was a little bit smart about it. I'm like, hey, I'm not going to put things on a credit card. I'm not going to go into debt for cardboard, right? It's not worth my family's future. It's not worth my kids, my wife, friends and family that may be affected by my decisions. It's not worth it to me to do that. So I feel like I've been pretty smart with, so like I reference this a lot. So I have a website, chaoscard.com. You can buy booster boxes off me. I've got a bunch of Mega Dream. All those boxes that I've bought were not put on a credit card. They were only put on money that have occurred over the last couple years. And so I'm fine with just sitting on them. They're down. I bought them at the peak of like $130. I think 135 I would have to sell to break even. And I'm fine just sitting on those because I'm not really in the business of losing money. In addition, and this might be a little bit all over the place, so I apologize. If you watched up until this point, go ahead and comment down below, hashtag mouse, right? Because I'm looking at my mouse here. But I think being over leveraged is definitely a scary thing. And going back to the what I was talking about earlier, I really don't think that because I'm fine, not leveraged and stuff like that, I'm not going to be buying the sets that are all hyped up. I'm not going to be buying Storm Emerald, or Storm Emeralda, however you want to pronounce it. I'm not going to be buying that because it's ridiculous price. I don't think I could sell it. Maybe there's enough delta to where I can find someone that would buy it for rip and ship or something like that. But there's no way I'm going to be selling that anytime soon or buying that anytime soon. But anyway, there's a little bit of backstory. If you want to support me or my channel, I'd love to help you out with some booster boxes. If you want to go and buy some on there, you'd basically be helping me out. Maybe given to charity, business charity, if you will. But go ahead and check it out on there, chaoscard.com, and we'll go ahead and talk to you guys later.